Good day, viewers. You are welcome once again to this week class. Our topic for this week is dangers of drug trafficking, and we are going to discuss dangers or consequences of drug trafficking, ways of preventing drug trafficking. Last class we discussed on this drug trafficking and reasons why people traffic in drugs. What are the consequences? Number one, it brings bad image for the country. That is, any country whose citizens are involved in drug trafficking are rated poorly by the international community and are treated with contempt or suspicion in any bilateral relation. That is, any country whose citizens are involved in drug trafficking will not be able to interact or transact with other country. Number two, imprisonment. People caught in this act are meant to face the wrath of the law, which eventually ends up in imprisonment. Some of them on the charge behave like abnormal human beings. So what we are saying is that if anyone is caught in drug trafficking, such person will be sentenced to prison. And if eventually such a person is released, he or she will not be able to behave like a normal human being, because as at the time he or she will be out, he will not be able to think right. 3, it brings death, which is death penalty. During the time of General Muhammadu Buhari, in his tenure military regime, there was a death penalty for whoever that is caught in drug trafficking. That is, there are some people that were caught at that time. They were sentenced to life imprisonment, or they were sentenced to death. So these are the consequences of this drug trafficking. Another one is adverse effects on national economy. Adverse effects on national economy. Drug trafficking has an adverse effect on the economy of any nation where drug trafficking is the order of the day. It affects national security as well. Another one is that anybody caught should forfeit his asset. That is, whoever that is caught in this drug trafficking will lose his properties. Another one, it brings shame. Whoever that is caught in drug trafficking brings shame to himself and even to the whole family. What are the ways of preventing drug trafficking? Number one way is to educate the citizens, especially the youth. That is why there is law that forbids this drug trafficking and the bitter consequences of such actions, like maybe someone sentenced to life imprisonment or death penalty, even for someone to forfeit his properties. So there should be a kind of education or enlightenment for people to know the consequences of this drug trafficking, so that some people will not even go into it at all. Number two, alleviation of poverty. Poverty is one of the reasons why people go into this drug trafficking. So if the government should introduce job or some skills whereby people can acquire and be self-employed, or will be able to get out of this poverty, it will go a long way in helping them, especially the youth. Another one is law, that is legislation. Government, both the domestic and international, should enact stringent laws stipulating effective means of enforcement of such a law. That is, government, both at the local and the international level, should try as much as possible in order to enforce this law, and also to let them know the consequences of whoever that violates this law. The next one is international cooperation. That is, the international community should cooperate and fight drug trafficking. It's not a work of only one community. It should be a work for all. That is why there is need for cooperation. If all these communities should come together to fight against this illegal behavior, it will go a long way in helping the citizens. Now there should be employment. That is, the economy of the country should be managed in such a way to provide employment for the people, because unemployment is one of the reasons why people go into drug trafficking. So if the country should make provision for employment, it will go a long way in helping. Then social security. There should be social security for both the aged and the unemployed people. Then anti-drug agencies like the ND.EA, the NAFDA, they should enforce this law on these people in order to comply with it. We have seen instances in so many times whereby you are traveling, you will see these agencies on the way searching people in order to avoid this drug trafficking. So today we have seen the consequences, we have learned the consequences of this drug trafficking and the way we can prevent drug trafficking. So this now brings us to the end of our class for today, and our question for the week is, we are going to list 4 ways to prevent drug trafficking in our society. Secondly, we are going to mention 2 agencies that are assigned to eradicate drug trafficking. You can answer this question, snap it and send it to my WhatsApp. You are welcome. Thank you for listening.